Now, 70 years ago, with World War II in the balance, there were genuine fears that Hitler could win the race to make an atomic bomb. In one of the most daring raids of the war, glider crews flew into Norway to disrupt production.
It's an almost forgotten page of history, but a Kidderminster man whose uncle was the youngest of those glider crews has begun a campaign to make sure their sacrifice is never forgotten. Carol Foster reports.
1942, and in the mountains of occupied Norway, the elements for an atomic bomb are being created by the Nazis. Winston Churchill was so worried he insisted on a new form of attack, by stealth, using gliders. Hollywood's movie The Heroes of Telemark showed a follow-up operation as a great victory. But it wasn't really Kirk Douglas out there. It was young men like 18-year-old Gerald Williams.
He was the hero of the family. Gerald went on a very special Operation Freshman to attack Hitler's heavy water plant in Norway.
The two gliders that had been towed to Norway for release both crashed in terrible weather. Most of the crew were killed. Gerald Williams survived, but he and other members of Operation Freshman were captured by the Germans, tortured and shot. The remains of the glider are kept at RAF Shawbury in Shropshire, where the glider they used has been recreated.
Hollywood tends to make the films, so the American side of the story tends to come out rather than the British side, and certainly on The Heroes of Telemark it was never mentioned about the original attempt by the gliders. It would be nice to be able to commemorate it in some better way.
This is a replica of the actual glider that was used to fly the men into Norway, and it's not made of much. It's wood and fabric, and it's not much to put against the German army. The operation did fail, but it did prove one thing: gliders could be used as part of a major attack. Gliders were successfully used on D-Day and capturing the Rhinelands, but still the men who pioneered their use are almost forgotten.
Just because these fellas didn't come back and we didn't have a chest to pin a medal on, it doesn't mean to say they weren't brave.
He's determined such a sacrifice will never be forgotten. Carol Foster, BBC Midlands Today, Shropshire.